Good evening and welcome to Modern Spirituals. I'm Mason Knight, and with me tonight is Miss Hazel Firefly. How are you?
I'm feeling so much better. I never ever thought I would ever feel so ill in all my life.
Right. And it's really, we're glad you're back. We're glad it was a week down.
Yes. Oh.
But, it just brings me back to the continual, and that's probably the reason you're back within a week, is all of the, you know, taking your shots, being an adult,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Doing things that I had to do.
right, and managing that.
But never mind. Back at it now.
Yes, you're back to being the legendary Miss Hazel Firefly.
I'm back to being the pain in the bum.
You are no pain in the bum.
I don't know.
I do. I mean, because you've had to, when we get sick, I think we really. Sorry, the neighbors.
That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, thank goodness they're right there. Um, when you get sick, you really take time to reflect back and go, hold up here.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
How did I
For
get
me, definitely.
Oh, for me too. It's like, something got to change.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
going to change? What am I going to change? Because I can't be doing this every 6 weeks.
Yeah. And I'm never, ever ill. It was just like, it came on me. It came on Sean first, and I said to him, right, you're staying in your bedroom. You don't come anywhere near me. And fair play to him, he didn't. But it didn't stop me from catching it.
Well, honey, it's an evil. This year has been evil for disease in general.
Yeah.
The flu that is going around is just pure evil. And it
was horrible.
Yeah.
I still got no taste. And my one ear is still blocked, but I'm coping with that.
Now, I always recommend hydroperoxide for the ear.
See, I've got to be careful because of my B12.
And
I've got I got to see the doctor on Friday for blood tests and my jab. So I'm going to ask them to check it when I'm there.
Right. Make sure you don't get an induction problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, there's just a lot going on, And I'm seeing this through all the psychic community. Like, we've all had something. I've had my stomach issues. Thank God I finally finished that regimen of medicine. I never met a more pain in the ass regimen of medicine. And then, just balancing everything out. And then other people have been sick for weeks.
Yeah.
One of my other co-hosts on another show I do, she was out. She couldn't talk for a month.
I can believe it because it's so, how can I put it? It's so hard work. And then they were FaceTiming me every day for me to see Parker. And then he started smiling, so I missed all that.
That's all right. When you get back, he'll be walking up and jabbing you in the back of the leg.
Well, he's coming for a sleepover next month. We've already made the decision.
That works. That's going to be so fun for you.
Sleepover at Nanny's.
Yeah.
It's been like 30 years since I've had a small baby.
That'll be interesting.
It'll be good, though. He's my baby. He's allowed to be.
Yeah, he'll probably be lovely. And by then, he should be sleeping overnight.
He's going 6 hours now, so that's not too bad.
No, that's not too bad at all.
So, and of course, he had an operation last week.
Oh, which one?
He was born tongue-tied.
Okay.
He had the operation done once, but it healed, so he had to go and have it done again.
Mm-hmm.
Only my grandchild can do something like that.
Well, no, that happens a lot, and sometimes they slit the tongue.
Yeah, well, I don't understand it all.
Right.
But his tongue was too attached front and back.
Uh-huh.
So he had to have two cuts, I don't know.
Yeah. But, that just means he'll talk faster.
The noises he's making already.
Uh-huh. He'll be a great conversationalist. But it brings up, our point to saving a self-worth and building real self-worth.
Yeah.
And I think it starts with looking at your life and going, what am I spending my time doing?
Definitely.
And psychics face this very quickly in their career because they have to set a per minute rate.
There's a lot of things we have to do that people aren't aware of.
Right.
And they're not easy things at the same time.
No.
Because we've got to get the balance right, the same as everybody else.
I think we have to get the balance even heavier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. But when you think about your life per minute, and you have to attach a value to that.
Yeah.
That is a lot of inner self-worth, inner self, how much is your worth? How much do you think things are? How much do you think it's valued at? And it's like, ooh, how's that going to work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
It is.
That's scary because as human beings, none of us like to look at ourselves and pick out our good points and what we should be doing for ourselves.
Right. And it takes a lot of time.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
If you're doing everything proper and you're eating proper meals, those take time to cook. If you're going to the gym 3 and 5 days a week, well, that's 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Then, like, getting a massage or, going shopping for clothes, that's a pain in the elbow.
There's something we've all got to do.
Yeah, but, so often we see people, especially when they're not Walmart sized. Which I'm far from Walmart sized.
And me.
I don't know. What's the equivalent to Walmart over there?
Tesco's. Yeah.
Yeah. If you Tesco/Walmart sized, well, that's even a bigger problem because you have to go to the big and tall store and it may not be there, or you have to order online. And that, I think, is the most damaging thing to self-worth.
Yeah. I'm going to be a pain in the bum in a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to swap devices.
Okay. Can you do it in 30?
I can do it in 30. I've got it all loaded ready.
Awesome. So let's go to commercial and we'll be right back, y'all.
I found out that my husband had been cheating on me and my whole world turned upside down.
I stressed over any and everything, constantly waiting for the next shoe to drop.
I was attracted to a psychic advisor to get clarity.
I was like, there's no way that's real. But the things that were coming up felt so accurate.
I really need that unbiased, non-judgmental advice. If there's some part of your life that is not quite fitting in, you maybe want to try something that you haven't tried before.
Try psychic reading on your phone. Your first 3 minutes are free. First, choose a topic or method. Second, choose a psychic. Third, start a call or chat. The first 3 minutes are on us. Install Zodiac Psychics now. Talk to a gifted and trusted psychic advisor.
All right, let's bring Miss Hazel on. There you are. Now bring it up a little bit. There we go.
That's better.
Yep, you just got to get your earbuds in.
I'm trying to.
I know, you're doing amazing.
They're now connecting.
Yay.
The story is, guys, My iPad crashed.
You're still on here. I'm going to kick your phone out. There we go.
Right, hang on. Audio.
There you are. Talk to me. Nope, can't hear you. Got to unmute.
Is that okay?
Oh, that's amazing. There we go.
Yay!
Hey, we got Hazel on where Hazel belongs. Welcome to live shows.
Oh, tech difficulties, guys.
I'm working with a medium. The iPad has survived.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
Right,
it ain't being held together by duct tape.
That's so true.
And it hasn't
So
became
true.
like your cooker.
Yet.
Yet.
But never mind. So what do you do to show yourself self-worth and value you?
Well, first, I make sure my rate that I'm allowing someone to use my time for equals my value.
Yeah.
And I'm talking everything. Like watching TV. This 30-minute show, is it worth, does it give me enough value for me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then, doing things like I hit the gym at least 3 times a week. I finally found a tanning place I like, so I'm gone back to tanning. Getting my nails done. Getting my hair done. Which I
did notice you got a swanky new haircut.
Thank you. I have a new stylist. We're going to see what it does. I want it a little shorter on top so it'll curl a little bit better. But, they're always afraid to cut my hair to the length I want it to be.
Yeah. The thing is, you can cut it shorter next time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because then it'll grow back.
Right.
And that's the way to look at it. Because I'm having my hair cut short the end of the month.
Good.
And I'm going short.
Oh, you're going to match me?
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll debate products later. And that's something else, is taking time to spend the money on the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. If you think about new cars, everyone goes and gets their car washed every week and it's waxed and it's polished and all that. But we don't do ourselves that way.
No.
And that can be problematic.
Tonight I put an order in to Boots. It's like Walmart, but a pharmacist side of Walmart.
Okay.
And they had I got a few things for the baby as he's staying over. I didn't have a sterilizer, so I wanted a sterilizer for his bottles and his dummies. Just because we got the dog and the cat, and if anything drops on the floor, I want to be able to clean it properly.
Right.
And I went into their bath products, and a lot of their bath products were half price.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I spent a bit of money on there.
Mm-hmm. As you should. And that's another thing. There are things I will cheap out on. I will not cheap out on my hair supplies.
No.
No. Or my nail polish. If it ain't OP, I don't want it.
No. That's why I go to one nail technician.
Mm-hmm.
And I stick to her because she knows exactly how I do my nails and how long I want them. Because I've had to gauge it. You know what it's like with typing?
Mm-hmm.
If they get too long, they're a pain.
And if they get too short, they're a pain.
Yeah. So she knows the right size to do them to start.
Right.
And then when I go back to her, they're not too long for her to carry on doing them.
Right. And those are important times for you. But also taking time for me, I'll make sure to take time in the morning to do morning pages.
Yeah.
And that's just free-floating, emptying the brain, deleting the box. Because otherwise, you're going to have your head all over the place. And then you're not going to be able to give yourself your value because you're thinking about something that happened 6 months ago.
Yeah.
With
me, you're going to be so proud of me.
Okay.
I've actually been sleeping in the mornings rather than getting up very early.
Surprisingly. I mean, there's some mornings I don't get to see you on.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But then for me, that's something I've never done, so it's something new.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going with the flow. I'm letting my body dictate to me at the moment what I need to do.
And that's an important thing right there. Especially when you get into natural sleep rhythms. You know, I am known to take a nap in the afternoon, and you're in my, like, right before my night shift, I'll take a nap. Well, last night I didn't wake up. I didn't throw a tantrum. Nobody threw a tantrum. The world didn't end.
No. You've got to listen to your body. I've learned over the years, making my body do something it don't want to do, that affects my body for days.
Right.
Whereas, and that's why now I just say to my body, it's getting older. I've come to that age where the menopause have hit, so there's lots of strange things going on with my body.
It's changing.
Just do what you want to do, and I'll just flow along with you.
Right. And if you ever notice the universe matches you.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I am sure last night on Keen was terrible. It was slow for everybody. Why? Because I went to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, the universe is like, yeah, you can go to sleep. Yeah, you aren't needed. You know, and it's matching that vibration. But it's also raising your vibration. And some of the hardest things is like learning to take compliments from people.
Yeah. That's one thing I don't like.
You'll get over it.
Because after a compliment, there's always a backhanded remark.
Well, there shouldn't be. Now, you know, and that's not paying real value to you.
No.
You know, or recognizing you for your accomplishments. And that's something a lot of people have trouble with, is learning to recognize when, damn, I done that.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think that's where a lot of people struggle. But then I think that's only normal at the same time.
Right. It is. And then you have things that, you know, people don't think affects their self-worth, but it does.
Yeah.
Job changes, age changes, relationship changes. All those go right to that bank account. Like bad checks.
Yeah, I agree with you totally.
You know, and then you got to rebuild it. And you have to also figure out where you're at.
Yeah.
As far as your value, your, you know, where you feel you need to improve at.
I've learned, this is going to sound strange, the older I've got, if somebody comes with a backhanded comment, I just laugh at them. Because it shows how, what's the correct word? How immature they are, and not to think of other people's feelings.
Right. And how ungrown they are.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you're ever in retail, you will hear people go, well, that's not worth that much.
Yeah.
Baloney. You're worth much more. What gets me, and I know you see it with yours too, is the clients that they are in relationships with people that do not paying on the value of the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all it seems to have been I'd say the last month. So there's something going on in the universe with the relationship cycle at the moment.
Right. And what I don't get is why they allow themselves this. Because I won't.
Yeah. No.
You know, it'd be like, that's my value's higher than that. Thank you very much. You can go waste someone else's time.
Yeah. If somebody can't value you, they're not worth having in your life.
Exactly.
And I think that's what people are going to realize, even when it comes down to friendships.
Right.
Those friends need to value you for you as a person.
They do. And they need to get structured to value you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and pulling that in together and getting that more organized. And then also taking time to really evaluate your value.
Yeah.
We do it with our jobs. We don't
Yeah.
do it with our friendships. We don't look and go, who do I need to fire this week?
I can honestly say I've got one very, very close friend that I see regular.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only because she knows what I've been through.
Right.
She's never judged me.
Right.
And she's always been there if I've needed her.
Right.
But then it's always been the same, vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
When I left Wales, I realised how toxic some people could be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you've got to leave a situation for you to have reflection and self-evaluation to think, did I actually need that?
Yeah. Did I need that? Was that lesson worth it? And I think sometimes we have to take a check and go, is that lesson done? Have we learned all we can from it?
Yeah. Like you probably get it when a client comes to you and says, why did that happen? Everything happens for a reason.
Right. And a lot of times the reason is to prep you for the next relationship.
Yeah. My favourite saying is, and you'll understand this, as you get older, you learn to dodge the curveballs because you don't have to face them head on.
Exactly. And you learn that, some things are just like they have a season.
Yes.
Friends have a season, relationships have a season, careers have a season, and you have to evaluate that season.
Yeah. And I'm a great believer, if you get changes every 7 years, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe in the 7-year change thing.
Right.
For the simple reason, at the age of 7, you're a child.
Mm-hmm.
The age of 14, you're coming into your teenage years. You're starting to learn about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you come to 21, that's when you're starting to live the real adult world.
Right.
By the time you're 28, most people at 28 have got their foot on the property ladder or renting and have started their own journey of independence.
Right.
And I feel every 7 years, that's how the motion goes.
Well, and then you tie in science to that. And the science of every 7 years, you're a new human.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you need to improve on that.
And that's what it's about. It's as you get older, you know yourself the same as I do. As you get older, you realise some things are not worth bothering over.
Right.
You get to the stage where it's like, oh, just leave it go. It's not worth your time.
Right.
Look at us having a very adult conversation.
Wow.
It's not like us at all.
Well, no, we normally have a very philosophical conversation. But, building the steps of self-worth, takes a bit there. It's very serious work, but a lot of people, I don't think, get it.
No, I agree with you totally.
And they don't get the, understanding the stage of life you're in, accepting who you are, accepting love. They don't get that recognition stage of where you reevaluate, and then also taking the step of self-responsibility. Like, nope, it is my job to hit the gym.
But I'm a great believer. None of that can happen if you don't respect yourself.
Yes.
That's the first part of self-preservation.
Right.
Is respecting yourself.
Right.
Because unless you respect yourself, nobody else will respect you.
Right. And making sure that you get yourself in that value point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think unless you can respect yourself,
mm-hmm.
you can't evaluate anything going on in your life.
Right.
Because you've got to respect yourself to learn to love yourself.
Right.
to be able to move forward on the other steps.
Exactly. And then also seeing those steps as steps.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, if they were real with themselves, would quickly realize that if someone offered you a job paying you 20 cents an hour, you wouldn't take it.
No.
And you can give a lot of reasons, like, oh, you can't live on that amount of money. Well, technically you can. You can't do this, you can't do that. But it's below your value.
And that's the thing. If another company came to me and said, would you work for us? My answer would be, what can you give me to make it worth my while?
Right.
There's no, yes, okay, I'll come and work for you.
Right.
It's now, as you know, we're at the stage in our lives where we can say, what are you going to give me? What are you going to do for me that's going to make that worth me doing it?
Right. And what services do you provide me?
Yeah.
What equipment are you going to buy my equipment? Do you have to buy special equipment for your network? Yeah. It's taking all that into respect and go,
yeah.
No. And I think a lot of people get desperate and they'll take things that aren't for them.
Yeah. And then they'll struggle because they've made the biggest mistake. How many clients do you have coming back to you that says, I've started a new job, but I'm not happy?
They didn't evaluate the job. They didn't go, is this the value I should be accepting?
Yeah.
Or they'll get into a relationship, and God love them. I know they just want love. But at the same time, if the dude chews with his mouth open and drags his knuckles through your house, and he's messy and loud, and you want a nice quiet life, you ain't going to get that out of this.
No. And I always say, and you probably say the same, when a relationship breaks down, you need a good few months to reevaluate yourself and re-find yourself before you can move forward.
Agreed. And you need a good few months there to recheck yourself.
Yeah. Because jumping out of the frying pan into the fire won't work. It's just a rebound.
And it's a very strong rebound. And it's a very strong... It just repeats itself. And you keep going into the same dysfunction after dysfunction after dysfunction.
Yeah.
And that goes heavy onto your self-esteem.
Yeah, there's one client I've been working with for many years, and I know she won't mind me discussing this.
Okay.
She went from one relationship to the other to the other. And she said to me, why do I keep going for the bad boys? And I said, do you want the answer plain and simple? And she said, yeah. I said, because you don't love yourself. Right. You don't appreciate yourself as a person. And you need that space to find out what your values are, what your self-worth is, and more so what you expect from a relationship.
Right.
And some people can't understand that they need to have expectations.
And standards. Like, they don't have to just take anyone.
Yes. Nice to see our little guest making an appearance.
Oh, she's been making appearances all day. The sun is out, so she wants to play in the window, which is fine, but she forgets to close the curtain. She can open it, she just won't close it.
Typical female.
Tell me about it. It's like, close the dang curtain. The dog does the same thing. He'll open doors, and I'm like, you know how to close them. I've seen you do it.
But it's the same in every aspect of life.
Right.
And that's what people need to realize. Their self-worth is a hell of a lot more than they realize. For the simple reason they haven't taken that step back and thought about what they want and what their expectations are.
Right. Well, and that's the thing, though, is a lot of times they don't take like, they'll do the self-worth evaluation but then they don't do the work to make it better. They don't sit there and set goals that are reasonable goals. You know, oh, I want to be 200 pounds by the end of the year. Well, that's great. That's, you know, we're we're 1/3 of the way through. How are you going to get there?
And that's the thing. I've started my weight loss journey again.
Mm-hmm.
And I've told myself 2 pounds a week is ample.
Right.
It could be more, it could be less, but I stick to the 2 pound because that's not an unreasonable expectation.
Right.
So if I don't lose that 2 pound, I won't beat myself up about it because I know I've done something wrong through that week.
Or not.
And that's what it's about. It's about learning your mistakes to set you up for the future.
Right. And, you know, sitting there and going, I made a mistake. No, you didn't make a mistake. Your body just didn't lose the weight today.
Yeah.
Check back in next month.
Yeah.
You know, because the scales say one thing, but your body could be doing something totally different.
Yeah. Yeah.
As in, you could be losing 2 pounds of body fat a week, but you could put on 4 pounds of weight.
Yeah.
And you're like, how's that work? Muscle weighs more.
And that's the thing. Smaller baby steps get you to the end in a more relaxed manner than putting the pressure on yourself for these massive steps that you won't hit in the time you've given yourself.
Right. And, you know, in doing that on a weight loss journey, don't do stupid shit.
No.
I have a friend, I swear, every 3 months they're trying some fad diet. The last one I heard about was the watermelon diet. You want to hear the insanity of this? You eat a watermelon a day. Nothing but watermelon.
And then when their insides start crashing and they go brain fog and they can't do anything because they've got no energy.
Right.
And then you start eating and you're literally eating everything by the bucket load because your body is craving it.
Right.
You're back to square one and put on more weight.
Right. Or, you know, your body keeps crashing because it can't handle the adjustment. I mean, yeah, a small is nice, but I'll still take a large. Why? Because I'm doing it my way.
Yeah. And that's what I'm doing. It's right. I explain it as the same as a computer.
Mm-hmm.
You go into your settings, you delete a load of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That computer cannot reboot until it's slowed down, given its brain a rest, and restarted.
Right. You know.
And you probably do the same as me. When you've got to do that, I do it before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Because then my computer got all night to do what it needs to do to reset itself and to reboot.
Right. And to stabilize.
Yeah.
You know, and then people that get sick, they jump right back into doing the same thing. And it's like, no, take it slow.
Yeah.
Do not hit the gym 40 times. As soon as you're back, you're doing 3 hours at the gym.
It don't work because you kill yourself in the process.
You go right back down to the rundown point.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
It really annoys me when you've probably had it yourself. A client will come to me and say, we'd arguing a lot. You've told me I've put on weight.
Mm-hmm.
Why have you put on weight? I've just had his child. Tell him to go because you're worth so much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody who's just had your child thinks that little of you, your body's been through a major thing, it's time to let that person go.
Well, not even that. How dare them make a comment about you putting on weight? Because it's a common thing for you when you get into a stable relationship.
Yeah.
Your body adjusts. Normally mirroring your partner.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
and that's
personally, if someone said, well, you've put on weight, I look at them and go, well, you ain't a size 2 either.
Yeah. Yeah. Like people say to me, because with the menopause, as you know, your weight goes up and down, up and down.
Mhm.
And people will say to me, oh, you're looking healthy. And I'll say, what you're saying is I got some good handles on me. Yeah, I know I have.
Mm-hmm. You know, and it's one of those, like, people just, they drag themselves out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
It's
and
crazy.
It's, get real. Be real with yourself, especially when you're like asking yourself how much you're worth, where you think things should be at. You know, when you're doing like self evaluations. I love Moxie Life self eval. It's a wonderful goal setting system, but it causes you to take a good look at yourself and go, where are you?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. People don't like doing that because they're afraid that they haven't achieved anything.
Right.
But everybody achieves something every single day. If
Right.
you get out of bed, you've achieved something.
Right. And
You know,
sometimes, 2 steps out of bed, that's all you needed.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for people that's depressed,
Mm-hmm.
people who can't get motivated. Getting out of that bed is a massive thing to them. But
Right.
they don't look at it that way. They just look at it as, oh, I've done that today.
Good. Mark it off your checklist. Take that dopamine hit.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. Over the years, people have become so, shall I use the word complacent?
I think they've become so ran down because no one, like, we came out of this generation of the 50s.
Yeah.
And no one taught self worth.
No.
Everyone taught survival.
It was, there's your list, get on with it.
Right. Keep calm and carry on.
Yeah.
And
We
for
don't work that way.
our female identifying audience, the ingenue principle, like, it done so much damage to people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
That perfume commercial where it's like, I can work the 9 to 5, bring home the bacon and cook it. Like, I don't know how much damage to self-worth people got when it's like, no, you can't. You can't do everything. You can't have a perfectly clean house with a 3-year-old, a 9 to 5 job with overtime, and have dinner on the table at 5.
It's not viable. You're not Superwoman.
No. Exactly.
You know, and when you look at it now, things have changed dramatically in that respect, whereas in some families, the roles have reversed.
Mm-hmm.
The dads stay at home for the mum to work, but people wouldn't expect the dad to do all that.
Exactly.
The dad to go out 9 till 5, get the kids up, get them to school, and have a meal on the table.
Right.
Because it's not expected of a dad that stays home and looks after his children.
Right.
But yet it's expected of the mum because it's seen as a mum's job.
Right. And, it needs to be everybody's job.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And it's thought that there isn't any, sort I'm looking for here, consequences to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I always say every relationship is equal.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
so
we have relationships where there's 2 of the same sex.
Mm-hmm.
So are they saying if it's 2 females, the 2 of them need to stay at work all day, then come home and cook and clean? It don't work that way. Every relationship is a team.
Yes. And it has to be divided as a team. I think the roles no longer need divided in any relationship. The tasks do.
Yes.
And the self-belittling that occurs if you can't get dinner on the table by 5 is an issue.
And that's the thing as well now, I think, because if you've got kids, a lot of the kids do after school clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very rare these days that families actually sit down and eat all together anyway.
Depending on the family.
Yeah.
Really depending on the family culture. There are some They eat at 9 o'clock at night because that's when everybody's home. You know, and I think that it really depends. But that's a key point in a successful relationship, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is you have at least one meal a day with your partner.
Yeah.
With no phones, no phones, no tablets, no computers, no dinging, no ringing.
And we know all about the dinging and ringing.
Uh-huh. And it's like right now, there's a large problem with people getting stuck into the TikTok matrix. And they're on TikTok all the time, and their faces in their phone all the time.
Yeah.
I know couples that sit there. Now, granted, if me and Techie Joe are arguing, we don't argue face to face. It's never good if we go off toe to toe. We will argue in a messenger.
Do I have to bang your heads together?
No, it's just easier to do it that way because then you can actually think out what you're saying.
Yeah, but that can be used in another way as well.
Well, yeah, it can be used as evidence. Like, see, you said this last week, but that's not the point.
But that can also be evidence in a court of law.
Not
so
really.
If you're really going to kill him, don't tell him in text.
Of course not. I just planned for spaghetti.
You just send me a message. I'm going to kill him now. I'll give him the go-ahead to go running.
No. It's just, you just make a lovely salad of foxglove and, digitalis and other lovely greens and make it on with a lovely dressing and spaghetti with some lovely arsenic in it. I'm done with it.
Oh, see, you can't do it that way now because everybody knows.
Oh, please. I've been threatening that for years. What you have for dinner? Spaghetti and a salad. His last meal.
It's all right. I've just spoken to the chef. He knows the call.
Mm-hmm. And it's just that, but that's having comic relief in a relationship.
Yeah.
But we realized very early on, we could not fight face to face.
No.
Because when we fight face to face, we will destroy.
Yeah. But I bet you don't go to bed on an argument either.
I don't, he will.
See, that's one thing my granny always taught me. You never go to bed on an argument.
I'll wear him out, honey, so he has to go get some sleep and come back.
Poor Techie Joe.
And granted, we've only gotten into 2 really bad fights. One was because of his dad from the grave. And then one was over planting a tree.
Because you knew where he should go and he wasn't having any of it.
Exactly. He's like, oh, we're going to call. And I'm like, no, keep the damn utility companies away from my land. But no, he had given me a tape recorder, to dictate stuff into. It came in really handy at the time. When I pressed play to see what was on, because it had 3 tracks, and I'd used 1 and 2, but it wouldn't record over 3, so I went to check 3. And I was recording his dad had made. I hit the roof. They sounded the same.
Really?
Uh-huh. Oh, I hit the roof. I was not happy.
I bet his dad was laughing at it.
On the other side, he was having a hilarious time because even on the other side, he screwed up his relationship.
See? Secrets always come out one way or the other.
They do. It just takes a little while. But no, we pretty much don't have issues. And that's because we, A, respect each other.
Yeah.
B, we have our departments. I don't know if
You
we've talked about
talk.
this one, huh?
You talk, which is a lot of what's missing from today's relationships.
We do. We talk, we message, we video chat, but also we have our departments.
Yeah.
If it has to do with the car, I don't want to hear about it, other than what time you need the car to pick it up and take it to the garage.
Well, when I got baby over for the night, I'll be giving you a video call.
Aw.
For you to see him.
That'll be lovely. But, he doesn't bother, if it has to do with cooking and kitchen, that's my department. The most I ask him for is his opinion of the meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a techie department, it's Joe.
Oh, don't even get me started. He is the true mechanic's wife when it comes to tech issues.
Bless him.
When I say that, I'm the one fixing my own tech issues because I've had it.
You're fed up of waiting.
Exactly.
Oh, bless his heart.
But that is where you learn, I can do my own shit.
Yeah.
I've done it before him. I can do it after him.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Resetting the computer? What are you doing that for? Driver incompatible. How do you know that? I looked it up.
See? But then I suppose we are independent with our own work tools because we know we have to be.
Right. But the other part of that is we are a later in life relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he came along, I was Mr. Independent doing it all.
Yeah.
And
so he came in stepping on your toes. So you had to pull back to allow him to take some of the reins.
Exactly. And had to go, okay, fine. You do that.
And I knew how hard that is for you.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like weird. And that's when we came up with, nope, your department. Nope, my department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how things work for you. So that's the way your relationship flows.
Right. And it flows very well. But we both keep paying each other's cost of admission.
Yeah.
AKA, Dan Savage calls it cost of admission. I call it my self-worth tax.
Yeah.
He puts up with me bitching when the tanning bed is down, and he's like, well, why don't you find another one? And I'm like, okay. So I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I've noticed in our meetings,
uh-huh.
You and Techie Joe will have a little dig at each other, and I'm like, oh, God.
Uh-huh. Just because we've worked now 6 years, 6 years yesterday.
Yeah.
We've worked hand in hand.
Yeah.
On everything.
And that's where it's a bloody good team that you have between you.
Right. What do you every business move, we talk about it on both businesses, but they're independent. And if the owner of that business is going, no, this is the way I'm doing it, get over it. Well, that's the way it's going.
Yeah.
And it's that mutual respect. And those go into relationships so strongly.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's why you've got to respect yourself before anybody else can respect you.
Yes. And you've got to love yourself before anyone else can love you. Because otherwise, they may be giving you 25-cent love. And it's like, mm-mm.
Yeah. One thing my old nan always taught me is every morning when you get up, no matter how rough you're looking, when you go into that bathroom, you look in the mirror and tell yourself you love you.
And wash your face in cold water.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one thing I do every morning.
Right. And, taking care of yourself is so important. Yeah. And, keeping things in process. So, guys, sit down, take some time, do some reflection. What's your week looking like?
I'm back to normal hours this week.
Okay.
So, if my body allows me, I'll be up at 8:30 working.
Mm-hmm.
I'll work through till lunchtime, have a break as I've been doing at lunchtime, then come back till roughly midnight. Next week I've got, my hours will be a bit dodgy next week, but we'll talk about that then.
Yep.
But apart from that, everything is flowing with me. What about you?
I'm working my normal 12 to 7s. 12 midnight to 7 a.m. I love my midnight shifts. It's great for my clients. And of course, that enables me to help my international clients, like my British clients. I'm up early in your morning. Come have coffee with me in the mornings. My Taiwanese clients, it's your afternoon. Let's have tea.
How is your Wednesdays going?
Well, the Wednesday evenings are doing fabulous. But I have this problem around midnight where it's like, there ain't nothing to do. So I've been logging in and taking some calls, but it's to keep my sleep schedule in range.
Yeah. But as long as it's only some calls and not all.
Mm-hmm.
Because you still got to give your body that rest.
Right. And I've been doing better with rest.
Do you know what? It's good that I can give you a lecture for a change.
I know, right? All right, guys. We'll see you back next week at the appointed time, which is 5 p.m. Eastern Standard U.S.
and 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time.
Good night, guys.